What's up, guys? Welcome back, where we wanted to talk with people here on the channel because I know a lot of people are actually new, and it would make sense to cater to people that are new and let them know exactly what Bitcoin is so they can make um, their own opinion to what it is that they want to do in terms of investing in these different cryptocurrency assets. So for most people here watching the channel, I think they'll just skip right over this video, which is fine. But we also know that there are people here in the channel that are new that really fundamentally don't know what Bitcoin actually is. So that's why we're creating this video, is so people that do not know what it is by the end of this video will know 100% what Bitcoin is. And I'm going to actually learn what it is as well to kind of push what it is that we're talking about here on the channel into the directional of learning so people can benefit from some of these things that we are discussing. So first and foremost, guys, it's important to remember that Bitcoin in the beginning is not what Bitcoin currently is today. BTC, which is the ticker when you go to buy cryptocurrency Bitcoin on an exchange or Coinbase or any of these various platforms you're buying Bitcoin from, it's very important to realize that when you're buying Bitcoin BTC today, it very well might not be what the ideals behind it were in the beginning. And this is a very good point, a very important notion that if you're watching the video tonight, you want to potentially come into the videos that we're producing for the upcoming videos so you can kind of move into what it is that we're kind of placing ourselves into. So first and foremost, guys, Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency. It is a peer-to-peer electronic payment system computer software that acts as a decentralized peer-to-peer cash system between myself, whoever I'm interacting with, whether that's a private business, a public entity, a government, a private individual, anything like that. So there's a thing called a white paper, which is a technical breakdown of think of it like a medical journal or a study or a medical like a medical study, but it is a breakdown of the technical aspects on how Bitcoin operates. It operates on a public ledger. So a lot of people are confused by this. They hear the word Bitcoin, they start to kind of think in their brain, this is like this thing that is a physical thing, which is actually not true. When you buy Bitcoin and you hold Bitcoin in a non-custodial wallet, or you hold your Bitcoin, you're actually holding the private keys that allow you to spend Bitcoin based on that timestamp that is backed by mining and node operators, which we're going to dive into further along into this video. So firstly, decentralization is an aspect that I want people to completely understand. Decentralization is very important, and a lot of people don't actually achieve decentralization simply because they're leaving their Bitcoin on a cryptocurrency exchange such as Coinbase, Crypto.com, or any other crypto exchange, they see their phone or their desktop computer displaying a crypto balance, a Bitcoin balance. However, they don't actually understand the complex nature that their coins that they're seeing, their balance that they're seeing, is not actually truly decentralized. They're not actually using the crypto Bitcoin technology as it was intended, and they are just basically um, guessing at the future price through speculation without understanding the complex nature of how this stuff is stored. So first, you have to move your cryptocurrency, your Bitcoin, to really own the Bitcoin to a decentralized, non-custodial wallet. I personally like Exodus Wallet, Trust Wallet. There's various others that you can look into that are trusted, some over a decade old. But basically, what you need to understand is to decentralize your personal, to be your own bank per se, you need to have your private keys. You need to have your private key, your seed phrase memorized. I have 3 wallets. 2 of the wallets I have memorized in my head. The third wallet is kind of just out there for, um, you know, to space out the money and the crypto between various wallets. But I know my private phrase, my seed phrase in my head. I can literally move to anywhere in the world with an internet connection. I can walk into the nearest telecommunication store, purchase a cell phone, purchase an iPad with cash or a fiat currency, and I can literally type in that seed phrase, download a wallet, and I will have access to my cryptocurrency right there to spend immediately. That can be as little as a fraction of a dollar to $100 billion if I know that seed phrase. So decentralization is very key. You act as your own bank. You're in control of your funds. There's no entity or people or persons that can interact with you to stop you from spending that particular amount of Bitcoin. Sometimes, if you are being censored or there is a government entity that is blacklisting that wallet address, that is why we're going to make future videos to understand some of the complex situations where coins like Monero, Zcash, shielded transactions, Xano, Horizon, and other various crypto privacy software can be implemented without the use of knowing how to use a decentralized exchange or mixers or things like that. You can kind of easily sidestep that. But decentralization is very key in Bitcoin and crypto. A lot of people think Bitcoin is decentralized. That is a matter of an opinion because technically Bitcoin is not completely decentralized and private, since anybody on the internet can go back and look at any Bitcoin transaction from the inception of that Bitcoin to where it's currently at, to understand where that Bitcoin has traded hands. And essentially, some Bitcoin can be marked as basically not being able to be spent if enough governments or certain regulatory bodies ban the wallet from that Bitcoin being spent. That is how you achieve decentralization, is by understanding the nature of that dilemma. So, understanding decentralization is one aspect. The second part is the mining and computational power it takes to achieve decentralization. So, let's try to wrap your head around all these things. That way you have a better understanding of how Bitcoin actually achieves its value and how various cryptocurrencies play off the same nuance aspect of Bitcoin, to kind of take from its popularity, as well as to try to form different micro markets within a market on certain altcoins. So you have mining. Mining is kind of easy to understand if you kind of listen to this video. Mining, very simple, is when we think of mining, we don't really think of massive warehouses full of these computers that are mining a certain algorithm. For Bitcoin, it's the SHA-256 algorithm, and basically it's a math equation. It's a very complex math equation that these computers are basically all around the world competing to solve that math equation to basically receive a block reward, which is the main thing that all miners around the world are competing for. And what this does is simply it allows for a powerhouse infrastructure um, infrastructure ecosystem based model to present itself as a cryptocurrency that has not only finite supply, 21 million, it allows that 21 million to come in using computational power to create the actual coins that we're able to purchase on the open market. It creates a specific model where these coins that are currently in circulation tends to go up over time because there is a less and less amount of new coins being presented to the open market, while people understanding the mathematics and the power and energy that goes behind creating this model in the first place. So mining is very important for Bitcoin. It is very important for coins that we are consistently talking about here on the channel. It is also very important for any coin that has a reputable stance in the crypto community, because without mining, it really depletes any type of um, want or need for a crypto enthusiast to really get into a specific coin. So it's very important to understand that mining at the root core is a very complex but simple to understand terminology, and it is also very important to Bitcoin, but it's also very important to the macro crypto world, because we're able to deduce that if a coin does not have mining, it likely does not have a need or a want from a crypto enthusiast to actually want to get into the actual coin. So understanding these complex situations with particularly Bitcoin and applying them to a macro crypto market, we're able to understand that most cryptocurrencies are actually indeed not worth our time. They're not worth our time simply because they don't have mining and they do not have decentralization in the terms of Bitcoin. It's kind of a gray area because it's not truly decentralized based on the computer software and how the public ledger, like we mentioned earlier in the video, you can go back and see every single transaction, where the Bitcoin came from. If it ended up in a wallet where there was illegal activity, the governments around the world could basically ban that Bitcoin from ever being used or spent. So understanding that model of whether or not Bitcoin is truly decentralized, but also understanding the complex nature of other coins that basically allow that to not be a thing, aka Zcash, shielded transactions, aka Monero, aka Dash Orchard shielded pools that's coming out available. We're able to kind of navigate where the cryptocurrency market could be going in 2026, that it might not be so cut and dry. It might not be like, oh, have you heard of Bitcoin? It's more or less applying these same ideals to the current trajectory of where the crypto markets are going. So in future videos, we're going to be talking about coins that kind of fall into this gray area where we can exploit some of the complexities that are good of Bitcoin, that are better for specific coins, and kind of talking more about that, because that's where we see that there's a large amount of potential profit gain from getting in early. See you in the next one.